Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Welcome to Divorce Happens, the podcast where we inspire, educate, and support you through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. I'm Olivia Howell, and today we're talking to the phenomenal Laura Wasser. For over a decade, Laura Wasser has been transforming the landscape of divorce. Laura is the chief of divorce evolution at divorce.com, leveraging her extensive experience and passion for easing the devastating toll divorce can take on families and children across America. Laura, a family law expert, author, and entrepreneur, is best known for representing high-profile clients such as Kim Kardashian, Ryan Reynolds, Angelina Jolie, Maria Shriver, and Stevie Wonder. Her New York Times bestseller, It Doesn't Have to Be That Way, How to Divorce Without Destroying Your Family and Bankrupting Yourself, has been a leading resource for many navigating the challenges of divorce. A sought-after voice in media, Laura has been featured in Vogue, Bloomberg News, Elle, Today, The Wall Street Journal, Girl Boss, Vanity Fair, People, Goop, Refinery 29, Cosmopolitan, The New York Times, The New Yorker, Los Angeles Times, and many more. Her insights on women's issues, the evolution of divorce, and entrepreneurship have solidified her reputation as a thought leader and advocate for modern, accessible divorce solutions. Today, we're talking to Laura about the 3 things to consider when you're considering divorce. Okay, Laura, we would love to hear it. As someone who knows divorce inside and out, what would you say are the 3 things someone should consider when they're considering divorce?
I think first and foremost is your kids, if you have kids. I think you really need to think about how it's going to affect them. That doesn't necessarily mean it should be an impediment. It just needs to be something that you consider. And what I've always said to clients approaching divorce, or even as we have our divorce.com meetings, I guess being the chief of divorce evolution at divorce.com makes me particularly tuned into how divorce has evolved over time and how we can do it better in this generation and for the next generation. So I think thinking about the kids, thinking about, are the kids really better off if we stay together? Because so many people in our parents' generation, the parents stayed together for the kids. I believe it's better for kids to see 2 happy co-parents than necessarily 2 parents living under the same roof for whatever reasons, even if you're not fighting all the time, and certainly not if there's domestic violence, but there can be a lot of resentment and there's not the same kind of happiness and peace. So one is the kids and what will be the best custody schedule for the kids. Ideally, you're going to be living close enough so that they can go back and forth. And depending on their ages, usually we say younger kids, shorter periods of time with each parent. Older kids could do more of a 2-2-5 or week on, week off. So definitely the kids. If you don't have kids, or even if you do, the next thing that should be considered always would be finances. Okay. And so I put those into maybe 2 buckets. One is your assets and your debts, what you have and what you owe on what you have. If you have a house, what's the mortgage? If you have a car, what's the car payment? So that's the next thing. And then number 3 would be your income and your expenses. So kind of your budget, what's incoming for both of you, even if there's a breadwinner, and then what do we spend? And those are kind of the 4 corners: assets, debts, income, and expenses that go into figuring out. So you really want to educate yourself. And if I could add a 4th thing, I think as you're contemplating this idea, I would definitely go online to divorce.com or whatever your state bar is, see what the law is in your state, because we have different laws in different states. Find out whether you're a community property state where everything that was earned during the marriage gets split in half, or an equitable distribution state, what kind of spousal and child support laws are there in your state. And that is readily available now. It wasn't when I first started practicing 30 years ago, but you can really educate yourself by listening to podcasts like this one before you make that decision.
Yeah, I would say too, I'm on divorce.com every single day looking for statistics, looking for information, divorce.com is an amazing resource. We are obviously a partner with them. We love them and everything that they're doing, all the work that you're doing. So I love all of that. Any more considerations, Laura?
I would consider this. And again, we are in a time now of social media and, texting and putting things out into the atmosphere that maybe if you're going through a divorce, you might want to think about for a minute. If that's a text message to your about to be ex saying you expletive, whatever, take a minute. If that's a social media post with you and your new girlfriend in a convertible Ferrari with $100 bills flying out the top, think about that for a minute. Not only the good stuff that's going on with you that you may not want to share with everyone else at the moment because it might trigger your spouse, maybe the bad stuff too. It doesn't need to be for general consumption. Often those things can be used against you if you're in court, whether it's a custody matter. So really kind of, I would say, be very thoughtful and remember that the person to whom you are married, who you may be contemplating or getting divorced from, that person at one time you loved. For better or for worse, you walked down the aisle, you said your vows. And again, if you've got kids, you guys were in the delivery room together probably as you were having those babies. There should be something that you can tap into that you like about them. And unlike any other kind of law, this is a person that most likely you're going to be seeing again, even if you don't have kids, if there's a business, whatever. And so you really want to remember that because this isn't like you get into a fender bender or your landlord is evicting you. This person's going to be in your life. And so don't say things that you may one day regret because one day that person may be one of your greatest allies. They're still your family member. Again, if you have children, you will be raising those children with that co-parent. Keep that in mind. Find a really great support group, whether that's family or friends or other people going through it. We do a lot of that kind of community stuff on divorce.com as well.
Yep.
Need to vent. You should be in some kind of therapy if you can afford it, if you can find it. And everybody can afford it these days. There's people that are trying to get their hours in, doing mental health work, whatever. And be nice to yourself because, you never know when the next person is going to come along that's going to be nice to you. So book a massage or, save up for some special thing, buy yourself flowers or a nice meal because that will make you feel better. And you need to do a little self-care during this time.
I love that. I was actually going to ask my last question is any wise words for anybody going through a divorce right now and needs some motivation from the great Laura Wasser. What would you say?
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass, baby.
We're going to get through it. This is just a phase. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. You are going to be able to impart your wisdom of this experience onto others. And you're going to get through this. Many, many other people have. They have survived. And now it's going to, once you get through it, on the other end, there's your next chapter waiting for you.
Laura, you are a wonderful resource for people. How can people find you and get in touch with you?
Through divorce.com. I'm also on Instagram, Laura Wasser Official. I'm not on that many other social media sites, but I'm available. And I'm really, my whole thing is just to kind of make it a better process for people because I know it's not fun. There can be a lot of heartache. That's normal. Work through that. But the legal part of it, the financial part of it, handle it like a business decision and move through.
Amazing. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for stopping by today, Laura.
Olivia, thanks for having me.
Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.